You know what's wild? I walked past a house last week and literally stopped on the sidewalk. The front yard was so clean, so polished. I assumed these people spent thousands on a landscaper. Then I started looking closer. Black mulch and a couple of plants from Home Depot. That's when it hit me. Curb appeal isn't about money. It's about knowing which upgrades look expensive, even when they're not. Today I'm giving you 5 landscaping upgrades that will genuinely transform how your yard looks. And none of them require a contractor, a big budget, or a green thumb. We're talking weekend projects, under $100 territory, and the kind of results where your neighbors start asking who you hired. Let's get into it. 1. Black mulch. This is the single cheapest thing you can do that makes the biggest visual difference. I'm not exaggerating. Brown mulch is what everybody uses. It fades, it looks like dirt after a month, and it kind of blends everything together in a way that looks messy. Black mulch is different. It creates contrast. Your plants pop. Your edging pops. The whole bed looks intentional. A bag costs $3 to $5. One Saturday afternoon. That's it. The one rule? Lay a clean edge first. If you dump black mulch over a rough, jag bed line, it still looks messy. A half-moon edger tool runs about $25 and gives you those sharp, defined lines that make everything look professional. 2. Repetition is the secret landscapers don't tell you. Here's something I wish I'd known earlier. You don't need rare plants. You don't need a massive variety of flowers. What makes a yard look designed rather than random is repetition. Pick 1 or 2 plants and repeat them across your beds. Ornamental grasses, boxwoods, liriope, whatever works in your climate. Just buy multiples of it and space them evenly. When you plant one of everything, it looks like a garden center explosion. When you plant 3 of the same thing in a row, it looks like someone with taste made a decision. Ornamental grasses are especially great for this. They're cheap, almost impossible to kill, and they move in the wind in a way that looks genuinely luxurious. 3. Solar path lights, but not the cheap wobbly ones. Lighting changes everything. A yard that looks totally ordinary in daylight can look stunning at night, but only if you do this right. The mistake most people make is buying those thin, plastic stake lights that fall over every time the dog runs past. They look bad during the day, and they look cheap at night. Spend a little more. Look for low-profile, metal-case solar lights, the kind that sit closer to the ground and cast a soft, warm glow upward. You can find solid options on Amazon for $30 to $40 for a pack of 6. Line them along your driveway or walkway, evenly spaced. The consistency and the warm light at night creates this upscale feel that looks like you hired someone to design the lighting. You did not hire anyone. You spent $40. 4. A statement pot by the front door. This one sounds simple, and it is, but the execution matters. A large dark color planter by the front entrance does something interesting to a home's exterior. It draws the eye right to the door. It makes the entrance feel intentional and welcoming, and it adds height and dimension to what is usually a very flat, boring space. Go big. A lot of people buy pots that are too small, and they end up looking timid. You want something that's at least 18 to 24 inches tall. Charcoal gray or matte black finishes look the most high-end. Fill it with tall, dramatic plants, a dwarf evergreen, a spike plant, or a simple topiary ball. You can absolutely find these at Walmart or your local garden center for under $15. 2 pots flanking the door is even better if your entrance has the space. Symmetry reads as luxury. That's just how our eyes work. 5. Clean lines everywhere. This is non-negotiable. I saved this one for last because I think it's the most underrated thing on the entire list. You could have the nicest plants, the best mulch, beautiful lighting, and your yard will still look messy if the edges aren't clean. Where your lawn meets your beds, where your grass meets your driveway, where pavement meets dirt. Those transition lines are what separate a yard that looks cared for from one that looks neglected. And most people completely ignore them. Use a half-moon edger or a manual rotary edger along every single bed and every hard surface. It takes maybe an hour for an average front yard. The difference is immediately visible. Honestly, a little shocking the first time you do it. Clean lines tell people that whoever lives here pays attention. And attention to detail is what expensive actually looks like. That's your 5. Black mulch with clean edges, repeated plans for that designed look, good solar lighting, a statement planter by the door, and sharp lines everywhere. None of it costs a fortune. All of it makes a real difference. And honestly, you could knock out most of this in a single weekend. If you try any of these, I genuinely want to see it. Drop a before and after in the comments. Nothing makes me happier than seeing a yard transformation that cost less than a dinner out. If this was helpful, hit subscribe. I do this kind of thing all the time. Home upgrades, smart spending, making things look way better than they should for the money. That's kind of my whole thing. See you in the next one.